On Tuesday the 13th, Respawn rolled out the Iron Crown event in Apex Legends, and it's a mixed bag to say the least. If you've been paying much attention at all, you would have seen all the articles and Reddit posts basically complaining about the pricing of the new loot boxes, which come in at basically $7 a box. Sure, you're guaranteed an epic or legendary, but come on. It's like Respawn thought, well, a lot of people like to complain about how our skins are pretty subpar. So, they went up, they designed some pretty cool skins, and then as a way to make it easier for us, they put them in loot boxes that you're guaranteed those epic or legendaries. But then, someone else at Respawn, either someone higher up or someone in charge of financing, or more likely EA, was like, make that shit cost $7 a box, which has led to some pretty severe backlash from the community. If you were to try and buy every item from this event, you're looking at upwards of $150, and you basically have no alternative because only 2 of the loot boxes are even obtainable just by playing. But this is all cosmetics, so at least for me, it is pretty easy to ignore them, which leads to the main thing I want to talk about, and that is the new limited time mode, Solos. Players have been asking for solos and duos literally since the game dropped back in February, and it has taken until now in August for Respawn to finally implement one of them into the game as a limited time mode. I am hoping it's just a test to see how well the mode is received, with plans to make it more permanent if the player base enjoys it, and that does seem to kind of be the message they've conveyed, but honestly, who knows, I don't understand Respawn as a developer these days. So that brings up the question, are solos good in Apex Legends? And my answer to that is a solid I currently have a love-hate relationship with them, and as someone who has not played a ton of the other battle royales with solo modes, I could just be having issues with the mode as a whole and not something that's Apex specific, but basically, the mode is hectic as fuck. Do you like getting third-partied in squads? Well then shit, you will love solos, because every time you try to kill someone, like 5 more people pop up going, hey, kills, and I think a lot of this stems from the time to kill in Apex. Anyone with higher level armor in this game is most likely going to take a clip or 2 to kill, and unless they are just standing around and not moving, this fight will most likely take a little bit of time, which means you're basically just shooting up a flare in the air saying, come here, players are low, because who doesn't love mopping up some easy kills? I mean, I know I do. Don't get me wrong, this is an issue squads has too, but for some reason it just feels way worse than solos. And maybe that's because without teammates to cover you, you're basically a sitting duck while you try to loot up and heal, or maybe it's just due to the fact that now instead of 20 squads of 3, there are just 60 solo players, which makes it more likely someone's near you and will come when you start firing your guns. This probably makes it sound like I hate solos, which isn't totally true. I enjoy them at times, but then at other times they are extremely frustrating. When games are going well, it is extremely fun to rack up kills, but on the other hand, getting 3rd, 4th, and 5th partied every time you go to get a kill is just pretty annoying. You also see a much smaller selection of characters, which was to be expected, but for the most part you only see the more mobile characters that are able to disengage when they need to, and Lifeline, whose heals and passive come in handy as a solo player. This isn't a huge deal because like I said it was to be expected, and it's only an issue in the solo mode when the characters are clearly more balanced around squads, but it was just something I wanted to point out. I should also mention that Respawn added a new area of the map for this event called Octane's Gauntlet, and this new area is the definition of meh. I understand this isn't a new season, and I should not have expected major map changes, but this area literally reminds me of some shit out of Forge and Halo, and not even like a good Forge map, just one of those ones that you threw together real quick to play with some friends. It has some slidey spots and a ring of fire that you can jump through and grab some loot out in the middle, but overall it's just pretty pointless. And this doesn't even matter in like 80% or more of your games because you probably won't go near it. I think I would complain about this area of the map less if every season's map changes didn't end up sucking. Season 1 literally changed nothing, and then Season 2 added a few spots and changed up a few other spots, but overall, the map still basically feels the same. Compare this to Fortnite, who changes up the map drastically every season, or PUBG, which has put out entire new maps to play on, or even Blackout, which has, actually, I don't know what Blackout has done, because who cares about that game anymore. Overall, this event is pretty average. It's not the worst event in the world, and it doesn't do anything too egregious besides the loot boxes costing $7 a box, but at the end of the day, it's not really that cool, and the solos mode is alright, but it could be better. If you enjoy this video at all, feel free to do those YouTube things, like subscribe to the channel or whatever you want to do. I also stream on Twitch semi-regularly, so that link, along with my Twitter and Discord, where you can ask me questions I'll most likely ignore, can be found in the description. And I'll see you guys next time.